It was the Martin Luther King sticker on for this.
I think it's still going.
Good, dude. Too bad it's like not a noise canceling one.
What?
I
The
didn't
heater?
run that shit the whole time. Oh, it's on high though.
Talk right into the microwave. All right, let's go. Test.
Test, test. You don't even really need the headphones, huh?
No, I just like them because then you stay on the mic. Because that's what the one that we did that day. It's gonna sound like shit because
The one that me and you did the other day?
no, the one that we did Saturday with everybody.
Oh.
Just like talking. And
Oh, so
I had
it's-
4 sets of headphones. And
Yeah.
6 or 7 people.
So
I'd
it
have
picks
to be
up.
like, hey, get on the mic. Get on the mic.
You like Rogan? He's always like, hey, bring that thing closer to your face. Who did he have to tell that one time? He told him like 6 times
It
that.
was it?
Was it the nutritionist guy from UFC?
Yeah, it was either him or it was McGregor's. No.
Oh no, it was
Trainer or
it was McGregor. It was McGregor's coach, and then that guy sitting next to
Yeah.
him, the nutritionist guy,
Yeah, the nutritionist.
and he kept saying like, "Yeah, Joe, because he was like, how do you get those methods to get everybody to make weight?" He's like, "Oh, it's like sodium and salt and."
There's a lot of science behind it. Like, oh yeah, what's the science? Well, like proven science.
I was like, I was on I was watching that, and then I was, like Twitter like instantly hits people with like shit talking. I think Twitter's the best for shit talking, dude.
Live, yeah.
Like some of the things that people say, and some guy was like, "What the fuck is this guy's deal?" Like he's talking about sodium and science, and he doesn't know shit. He's bro science.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, I think we're fucking almost there.
You can't watch it on the TV yet?
Yeah, you want to watch it on the TV?
Yeah, that'd be badass. Or but you can watch it on the TV, but you could also switch to like if we wanted to talk about like the dunk contest, and you could show some fucking video
Yeah,
on
so
high.
it's gonna show up on our live stream.
No, it won't show. What do you mean? Like it won't show up what you're seeing,
Yeah.
but it'll
We'll
show up.
see it.
We'll see it. Yeah.
The best thing to do is just get on this network, the studio network, and then if you want to beam something, just beam it from YouTube straight to the TV.
Oh, like on this?
Yeah, that way we don't get to search it with the remote and stuff.
What's the thing?
It's the one that says studio with the E,
Okay, got it.
and then
You want to type it out?
yeah.
I don't want to say it out loud. Studio with an E, baby.
I'll text it to you later so that you have it.
What movie I just watched that was badass, dude?
Huh.
Mile 22 with Mark Wahlberg.
Really?
Have you seen it?
No,
Have you heard of it?
talk about until you get,
Oh, I thought we were live. Oh, okay.
well, we are live. But I haven't started recording for just audio yet. Test.
Test. Testing. 1, 2, 1,
I was
2.
gonna get us live up there, right?
Live.
Let's see.
Live and in full effect. Am I mic one?
Yeah, you're one. You're
Oh,
one.
yeah, there we go. Let me kill that here. Silence.
What am I even on right now?
Del Rio.
Test. One more test for you.
Test.
All right, we're good.
How do you get the spring to stay down?
When you stay down.
Like this to stay right here. Does it stay or does it go back up always?
Just pull the table closer to you for now.
Oh, okay.
Does that work?
Perfect. Oh, there we go.
These are cheap, like little arms, dude.
Yeah, buddy. You live?
Probably need to tighten that screw or something. Yeah, we're live.
Nice. Tropical Red Bull. Get the day started.
Hand me that yellow one too, please.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Dude, I've been like in a fog since Saturday night.
Why?
I just drank way too much. Super hungover yesterday.
Oh, what'd you drink?
Plus everything, dude. The one dude that was with us, I don't think you ever met him before. His name's Casey. We were drinking tequila. We had some 1800 in there. Actually, I think you brought it when you and your lady came over to our house in Manteca a long time ago.
Did I?
Maybe not. Anyways,
No, I bought a case of fucking 805, and I was like, everybody had Victoria and Pacifico, and nobody's drinking the 805, and I was like, damn, I thought Kev would have liked 805, and you were kind of like, bring whatever, and then I brought it, and then I felt like everybody's like, what the fuck is this?
Felt like an idiot.
And then I felt like an idiot. And then, so the next time when I went to your boy's shop that day when we did the podcast with Stan, I brought a Victoria.
Yeah, we'll drink whatever, dude. We're not like pretentious about that shit.
I know, but I was like, why did I even think to bring 805? I was like, I fucking hate 805.
But yeah, we're drinking that 1800, and we kill it like instantly, dude. Taking shots of it, and they're like, "Oh, what do you guys want to drink next?" And I was like, "Oh, I got some Jack in there, and I got some tequila and some other stuff, you know." And then he was like, "Oh, but what happens if you mix the clear and the dark?"
Tequila?
No, just like liquor in general.
Oh.
And
then you're fucked up.
I know. I was like, I remember that from being a kid. Like, well, or no, I'm thinking of the liquor before beer. You're in the clear thing.
Oh.
But still, like mixing it, I was like, dude, you're gonna be fucked up tomorrow because
it's liquor
not only are we gonna mix
beer,
everything,
then liquor before beer, and then you're in the clear.
Yeah, beer before liquor, never been sicker.
Oh,
liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
Yeah,
that's the way I remember it, anyways.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's just bullshit. I think it's all in your head.
No, because I know for a fact that's true though.
I think
it's happened to me.
Might happen is if you drink liquor. I don't know. I think that if you drink beer first, I don't know why, dude. I have no idea why.
It's probably some kind of science.
I really think that it's just bullshit.
I gotta show you this video, dude. I don't know if I sent it to you.
But yeah, then we were in here messed up, and we started drinking that Centenario. And I was trying to explain to him, like, yeah, Vince brought the one from Mexico is a little bit different. It's better.
Way better.
And then they were like, but it's the same. It says made in Mexico. I was like, yeah, but the recipe's different. Like, just like with the Cokes, like Mexican Coke.
Even if it's... So, my buddy at work was telling me, like, something... He went on a tour, and he's like, even if it's made in Mexico, but it's shipped to the United States, there's some kind of, like, alcohol by volume kind of deal. And there's some kind of limitation or something that's different.
Oh, yeah, because it was like 90 proof, I think.
Yeah, in Mexico, it's like pure. And I don't know, it just seemed... I bought it, so I had a bottle my father-in-law gave me. And I had some... I've shared it with you. You've had it, and you're like, damn, this is good. This is smooth. Everybody that I've shared it with is like, this is good stuff. And then I ran out, and I bought a bottle out here.
And it wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same.
Yeah, that one we were drinking wasn't very good.
Yeah, it's crazy. My brother bought 2 bottles of that last night. We were at my nephew's birthday party. Him and my brother-in-law, they brought back 2 bottles of Centenario and a couple 2 liters of Squirt, and they had one of those big old Home Depot jugs, and they just do hella ice in there. And then they poured the 2 bottles, and they mixed it with. They poured the Squirt, and they squeezed some orange, like a Paloma, and then they just mixed it up real quick, and we were drinking that. That was good, dude. I don't drink beer no more. I can drink a michelada. Like I'll drink a michelada, that flavor. You know, I can never just get away from that. But drinking just beer at a party or just standing there, it doesn't sit well with me. It's like, you know, if I'm drinking light beer, I gotta pee every 5 seconds. If I'm drinking Modelo's, it's good, but you're getting full. And then I just like tequila now, dude.
Yeah, I think that
and there's no you don't get full off of tequila.
Yeah,
I can drink tequila.
The beer fills you up.
Yeah, the beer fills you up.
I think the hangover's worse from beer. Like if you drink like a shit ton of beer, I think it's worse than just drinking liquor.
I'm gonna send you this video later. I was showing it to my brother-in-law and my sister last night. Let's see if I can find it. But this dude, he's like showing up he's saying like how you should never drink beer out of a glass, or if you do, because the beer has this beer in the glass bottle has the CO2, right?
Yeah.
He's like, there's 2.5 ounces of CO2 in each bottle or something. So when you pour it, he's like saying, let me explain it to you, and then I'll show you the video. When you pour it, when you know how he's like, people pour beer and they're trying not to get like foamy, and he goes, that's wrong because their CO2 is not releasing from that bottle. So like he goes, he's pouring the beer, and then there's no head of foam at all. And I've got a lot of beers like that. That I've been
always, dude, from the restaurants.
Yeah,
they're always like that.
Now the difference is though, in draft the CO2 mixes with the beer, and that's what creates the carbonation. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's already released. I don't know, but out of a bottle. So he pops the lid, starts pouring it, and he's like, "You ever seen somebody pour a beer like this and they don't get no head of foam?" He's like, "Well, that's not really a beer." And then
it's not really a beer.
So he has the bottle, and it's just flat. It's like a beer with no foam. And he's like, "Say you get this beer and you want to drink it, and then you're gonna take a bite of it and some nachos after," and he like he dips this thing in the bottle in the glass, and then it just starts foaming and overflowing. He goes, "That's what happens in your stomach when you don't release the CO2 from the glass."
Oh, okay,
so he's he goes, "You get bloated. You're like, oh, I'm bloated. I drank too many beers." But he's like, "That's not really what it is. It's the chemical reaction happening in your stomach." And so then he grabs another beer, pours it, and it kind of pours it. He's like, "You got to pour it with vigor," and it's like, looks like it's hella foaming. And he's all that. People would be like, "Oh, that's a bad pour. Look how much foam there is." And he goes, "But no." And then he dips it again, and like it just stays the same.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You have to release that CO2." And I was like, "Damn!" You know how many times I've sat at a restaurant, I'm drinking beer out of a glass, or I pour it in a glass, thinking the same thing, like leaning on its side, and I'm like, "Yeah." And then I then you start to eat a little bit, and you're like, "Oh, dude, my stomach's like, I'm not even hungry anymore."
Well, they'll do that. I see them like pour it, and they'll barely open the tap and then put the glass like right up there so that it doesn't foam.
You know what's crazy?
Or you had the ladies like they'll like pour it, which is good because I guess you're getting all the foam. They'll just pour it right, it foams up, and then they just like they keep pouring out beer, like wasting a shit ton of beer.
You know how much money they waste? Because I mean, we both worked in beer, and I was talking to Bob, the draft manager, one day, and I was like, I go, when they pour wrong, how much money they're really losing? He's like, "Vince, it's crazy." He goes, like a 3/4 inch foam compared to a 1/2 inch foam is like hundreds of dollars over the life of kegs,
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "It's the smallest difference." You go to like, how many times have you been at a bar and they're pouring you a pitcher and they're literally letting the beer just flow out of the pitcher, and you're like, "That's fucking wasted beer," and they don't get it. Like if
they think it's so cheap that they're not wasting money. But
they think
kegs aren't really that cheap when you break it down. Like how many beers are in it?
Yeah, but
because there's like 165 beers or something in a keg.
Dude, bro, they make money.
Yeah, they make money, but they could be making way more.
Kegs are like, when I first started in beer, kegs were like, I think $50 to $70 range.
Yeah, they're like
now they're like double that. It's crazy. Like a Coors Light can, like a 18 pack of Coors Light. And when I was 18, whatever we were drinking, it was like $10, maybe $9-10, right? $10-11. Now it's like $13 or whatever.
Yeah, I remember they were always $9.99 for like if you got Coors Light, Bud Light, whatever.
Well, we'll see. That's the difference. Is a couple dollars in a case, and the kegs have almost doubled in that same amount of time. That's crazy.
Yeah, and the cans and stuff haven't really. I remember in Merced, dude, all the bars would take just 6-packs.
They make way more money on the 6-packs because you buy a case, it's 24 bottles. It would average out to maybe $26. Like let's just say $26 for a case of 24 beers. So then you're gonna sell each beer for $2 to $3. Even if you sold it for $2 to $3, you make double off a case.
Yeah,
you sell 100 cases a week,
and you don't worry about like your bartender wasting beer.
Nope. It's crazy. And then you recycle your glasses.
Yeah,
they'd have those big old trash cans, and they'd be loaded. I'd deliver so many bars. And they'd have a pickup truck, and they're loading the trash cans full of glass bottles. And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go recycle." Even you get your recycle money back, and like you're not gonna get hella money, but you're getting that back at least too.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because the bars that always stayed viable when I was in the years that I've been in beer are like little pool halls with beer. Either you buy your beer and you play pool for free, or the beers are cheaper and the pools cost you.
Yeah.
But those bars have always stayed relevant. You put a fucking jukebox in there, and you put some beers and pool tables, and you're good. And you know, you have your little one bouncer outside or something to keep shit cool. And they make money, dude. I would get paid straight cash from this one bar on the west side. Every Friday, I'd call her up. She gave me her personal number. She's like, just call me. You know, I live out here. I live in Empire, so it's going to take me a minute to get there. She's like, call me an hour before. And then I'd be like, all right, I'd call her. And I'd be like, hey, I'm here. You know, I'm going to unload everything. As soon as she pulls up, all I got to do is roll it straight to the back.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'd show her the bill. And that was when we had those, remember at Budweiser, we had those old school printers in the truck. And it's like, and you'd have the 2 copies print out.
The handheld was like,
the handheld was like a fucking 1980s cell phone.
That was crazy. I hated the Merced route, dude, because I would have like 10 to 15 G's of cash on me sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Because all those dudes out there pay you cash.
Oh, that's crazy, dude.
You'd be taking like 4 pallets of beer and they're going to pay you cash.
Yeah.
It's like,
now nobody takes cash.
yeah.
So I remember that guy that got killed in Fresno. They said that he was trying to get robbed or something. He was like
the driver?
Yeah, the driver.
Yeah.
And that guy shot him and killed him. I don't if it was for over money. I don't even remember the story. I just remember that we got a message, like an alert. We had those Nextels, and everybody was getting hit up. Like, be careful, watch your back. Some dude just got killed. A beer delivery guy just got killed in Fresno.
I remember at Bud, they made like everyone got a lumper after that.
Yeah,
for a while.
That's crazy.
Because they'd send you out on a bulk truck like by yourself there.
Sometimes it depends. Bud was like there was always 2-man bulk trucks, remember? And then side loaders were always like, if you needed help, you would,
Remember the 20 bay? That thing sucked.
Oh, I know, dude. I remember me and Gabe. Remember Gabe? I won't say his last name. We went out to what's that fucking town, dude? It was like an Amtrak station out there, and it was not. I want to know the name of that town so bad. It was like a grocery store, a couple liquor stores.
Like, where's it by?
Okay, so like if you go out to Turlock and then you kind of went east, like inland. It's not Houston. It's not
Hillmar.
I think it was by Hillmar. I don't know. I forget the name of the town, dude. I used to deliver there all the time, and then I'd hit Santa Fe all the way back down, and then you'd pass through Livingston and Hillmar. It wasn't. I forget the name of it. Well, we took the 20 bay out there with like almost 2,000 cases, dude. Everything was full. I think at one point there was a couple cases in the front seat, like in the middle on the floor. Like,
that's crazy.
We were just loaded up, but it was crazy because me and him, it was like an 18-pack buy-in or something, and we just I was like, let's just slam it out, and dude, we knocked it out quick though. We were just running.
I don't miss those days, dude. I mean, I do. Part of me does, but part of me doesn't too.
I think when you're, what is crazy? Because like when you're younger, like when I was younger and I was in it,
felt like a challenge and it was fun.
It was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah. You're like delivering beer. You had the freedom to listen to whatever you want, talk to whoever you want. You still have that now. It's just that like it's not as glorified as it was when we were doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's the beer guy. Little kids or dudes walking by be like, yeah, man, you're the, like you might get that now every once in a while. But it's not like a glorified job.
I think beer just in general isn't as cool as it used to be.
But it's more popular than ever, dude.
Yeah, but I don't think that. I think like because I remember being a kid and you would hear like in 5th or 6th grade, you would have kids like bragging about how much beer their dad drank and shit, And I just don't think that you have that same mentality around it. Like, I think everyone enjoys drinking it, but I think that there was like a personality that was along with it that was glorified, like that just drunk, rebel, do whatever you want kind of dude. And I don't think that really exists with beer anymore. Remember like the commercials back then? You remember like the Coors Light commercials with the twins or was it Bud Light?
The Miller Light?
Yeah.
The Miller Light
was it?
Commercial. It was the chicks fighting.
Yeah. And like,
I used to be like, those girls are so hot.
Right. And they don't advertise that way anymore.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why.
Well, now there's that whole...
But they just don't promote that lifestyle with drinking anymore.
Yeah. I seen like an old school King Cobra commercial from like the 80s, dude. It was fucking hilarious. I think I seen it on YouTube. And it was just like some basic ass commercial. And it was like, I think it was kind of like, Oh, you know what's crazy? I'm just gonna take out that story. You know what's crazy is, um, you know how you used to get the beer posters, and we'd be able to like grab a stack,
Yeah.
of you grab Bud Light or Budweiser or and one day there was a roll of King Cobra ones, and they had this black chick on there, and I was like, that's kind of fucked up, dude. Like, what are you trying to say? All the Budweiser ones were like white chicks,
Uh-huh.
and then you're like the King Cobra one is like, oh, it's the black girl on here. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. Like, are you guys trying to like racially profile or something?
Yeah, they were for sure.
Because I mean, I delivered King Cobra and it's only in the hood,
Yeah.
but everybody drank it, not just freaking black people. I don't know, but
Dude, I think there's something up with I don't mean to like change, but when I was waiting for you, I was pulling up the news. I think we're getting to the idiocracy point in technology, dude.
like in what way?
Like where people don't know how to like use the technology right, and it's kind of just like doing its own thing. So I'm scrolling through Google News, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same articles like repeated. So like when like in the
Oh, wait. You mean when you open Google and you see the news underneath it?
Yeah.
And you scroll down. Sometimes I see it and it's like, it's like stuff I've already read on Twitter, like a day before.
yeah, so like look, I'm in like the I guess this is US News, and it's like usually there's a bunch of different stories, right? Or if it's the same story, they'll have all the links below it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's like the sixth grader arrested for not not saying the Pledge of Allegiance, then student arrested for disrupting class, not doing Pledge of Allegiance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 articles right there for US are the same article or the same story, different news outlets.
You know what's crazy is it by
And then
stuff that you Google? Because mine.
then they have one on the New Orleans police shootout. It's 5 of the same story in a row.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's weird. It's
Mine
like,
isn't like that.
see, look, it's that picture of that sailor kissing the some chick that was famous, right? It's the same picture, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row.
Let me see how it looks on your phone though.
Just scroll through that, dude. It's weird.
Oh wait, yours says Google News.
That's
I'm talking
the actual
about.
Google News site. Like
Oh,
if you go to
see.
news.google.com.
It's just other. It's just the same story, but with different publications like Time.
Yeah, but they used to
NBC,
group those like so you wouldn't have the same story repeated.
Boston Globe.
I don't know. It threw me off that like
Oh, that iconic photo of the sailor kissing the girl on Valentine's
yeah.
Day.
Did you see the two gay dudes that recreated it?
Nuh-uh.
They did a pretty good job of it. I don't know if people were probably like pissed off, but
You know what? That's in this day and age. I was talking about this on the homepage,
yeah,
and so it's like mixed martial arts, UFC fighting, and I'm like, did that pull? Because I was on Twitter, and I was like, hashtag UFC, because I didn't watch the fight. I was watching the All Star, and then by the time I got home, I was watching some other stuff, and then I wanted to see who won the UFC fight, and now it's the first thing that pops up on my phone.
yeah, for sure. It
And
for sure
then-
tracks that.
And then I was looking up exercise shit. It's like it's on an exercise thing. And then this was like a 50 Cent thing talking about boycotting Gucci because they did that sweater that was like a
Yeah.
black face with the lips.
oh yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
how can they be so stupid? Like, who's the guy that came up with that?
Maybe they were just doing it for the reaction, you know?
But why?
Because
Oh, so like-
what's like the old saying? There's no such thing as like bad publicity, you know?
Yeah, but like a lot of like hip hop community, African American people buy Gucci, high end stuff, and it's like, why would you want to take some of your demographic down to cut sales?
I don't know, dude.
That's fucked up. I mean, everybody should have the right to buy and wear whatever they want, but like that was just a bad look.
I
Oh,
Yeah.
what was you gonna? Oh, you're talking about those gay sailors though, recreating that picture.
yeah,
I
but
wanted
it
to
wasn't.
say-
That wasn't why. Like I was getting into. What was I talking about? This the way like that the news feed was like structured.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if I like that it tracks. I mean, I know people don't want it to track you, right? Which that's not the part that bugs me. But
Every
I don't
time you're
wanna,
on
like-
it, it's got to be tracking you.
yeah,
Right.
but I don't want to be seeing news stuff that I already know about.
Oh,
You know,
oh.
or like I would rather you suggest stuff that isn't in my realm of my world, so that I can like
well,
find new stuff out. Otherwise, I'm not looking at news or anything new.
Do
I'm
you-
just looking at stuff that I already know about.
but how do you know about it? How did you know about it?
About what?
Like what you're saying on your
Like you were talking about the UFC thing, right? Like it's showing you news about UFC.
yeah,
Obviously, you already know about that because you watched the fight,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you had searched it already and looked up the information. So, do you need it to recycle that to you again?
No,
No.
No,
Wouldn't you
I
rather
see
it
what
show
you're
you
saying.
something like new?
Yeah, but like, so news is regurgitated information from the day before. It's
Yeah.
unless they go, now we're going live.
Yeah.
We've got, Billy, he's on site, and it's like that's different. But like, I don't wake up and turn on the news. Like my dad, when I grew up, like I'd wake up and get ready for school. The news was on in my house.
Yeah.
Every morning. Your dad probably watched the news when he woke up. His dad watched the news. Like that generation is gone. Like my son is not going to turn on the news. He'll get all his information from his cell phone from some kind of site. I wake up and everything I need to know, kind of based on who I follow on Twitter, is where I get my information.
Mm-hmm.
So you can follow the New York Times, you can follow Time Magazine, you can follow NBC, Fox, ESPN, Wall Street Journal, all on Twitter, and they're giving you like links to articles, or they'll be tweeting about things that are going on, current events. That's where I get my news from, and I can filter out what I don't want to hear. Because you sit down and watch the news. Like the other day, I was walking on the treadmill, I put the TV on, and the news, like it was Channel 10, so it was ABC News, and then I go, I don't want to watch news because a lot of times they bring up shit that I don't want to hear. So I went to the next one. It was like Good Day Sacramento, and they were talking about the snow. And I was like, okay, I'll watch this for a second. Usually I would wake up, and the first thing I'd put on in the morning when I walk on the treadmill is ESPN or Fox Sports 1, and I just listen to sports talk, sports debate. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is what interests me. I can look at my iPhone for the weather app, and see what the news is going to be like. But I just happened, since I cut DirecTV like way down, I don't get ESPN anymore. Yeah. I'm like, see how long I can go without like my favorite channels. Cause I was like, it was kind of one of those things where I was holding leverage over them. Like, yeah, I'm not going to cancel it, but I'm going to lower to the lowest of the lowest of the lowest. So fuck you, DirecTV. And I'm like fucking myself because I'm missing out on some of my favorite channels. But I'm like, well, I get access to that on my phone. So I came to this conclusion, like, I don't need it right then and there. Yeah. If I can watch it later, like on YouTube, because a lot of the stuff they put on these ESPN, they'll take like a 8-minute segment of exactly what I wanted to hear, and they'll put it on YouTube, and you can rewatch it, and then without the commercials. Yeah. And that's the awesome part about technology.
I don't really miss ESPN now. I did miss it at first when actually back like when I used to deliver beer. Yeah. Like at Bud, when you could start at 3 a.m. and get off by noon, because I would come home and there would be like,
well, it's a 24/7 channel.
Yeah, but what was that? What's the show? Around the Horn? I used to love that show, dude. And it's on at like 1 p.m. But it's not really something that you want to watch later. You want to watch it right when it's happening.
Right when it's happening.
Because they're always talking about events that happen that day or even on like a part of that day.
Sports has become so mainstream, like 24/7, and it's crazy because like the athletes, like Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, like if you were to put them under the microscope that they put like a LeBron James under, the new guys like Curry, Durant, and now these like Durant, how he didn't want to answer some questions to the media for like 8 straight days, and he's like kind of like, and then he finally did, and he gets on the podium after a game, and he's kind of like, I don't trust you, fuck you, not like saying like, you guys are gonna report bullshit stories, and that's why I don't want to talk to you. And some other guy was like, a couple of the Fox Sports 1 analysts and ESPN guys were like, well, you know what, KD, if you want the millions and the fame that comes with the millions, and the girls and the tech companies and the endorsements, this is what you have to deal with, is the scrutiny every single day. And that's one of the things that I commend like a LeBron James for, is because he hasn't always dealt with it like best, but he's dealt with that. Nobody's dealt with that pressure. Yeah. Like LeBron James is literally the first athlete I remember.
But they also don't go after him.
Yeah, they do.
Not the way that they do a lot of other guys. Because when they pick someone that they're going to like vilify, that's just like your fate sealed. That's who you are now. Because that's the way they're all going to portray you.
But you know what the difference between LeBron James and Kevin Durant is in that setting? Is that LeBron doesn't really need to respond to every single critic. KD had burner accounts on Twitter.
Well, yeah, he's a little bit.
So like he feels the need to validate himself to other people when those people's opinions really don't fucking matter. Like other people's opinions of me to me don't matter. It's who you are inside, who you believe yourself to be. And if you think I'm a good person, but everybody else outside of you can twist the story.
That's true.
Then you feel like you have to respond to every single one of those to prove to them, like, no, listen, guys, I really am a good person. You just don't know me. Like, I feel bad for that kid. Like, he's younger than me.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. And I'm like, that he's on a higher plane of scrutiny.
Yeah.
Like, we may be scrutinized by people we know, people like that. Oh, that's my boy. Oh, fuck, Kevin this or Vince that. And you're kind of like, if you find out about it, then you're like, well, what the hell, bro? Like, why don't you just say it to me? And that's on a lower level. Imagine millions of people.
Yeah. The whole internet just like going after you.
Everybody on Twitter has an opinion.
That burner account, and then like how he has his brother like responds to shit. Like, dude, I guess he is kind of egging him on by doing that shit, Because if you get that reaction, especially on Twitter, like if you can get someone to freak out, they're just gonna fucking go after you until you freak out more.
Yeah, they'd be like, I struck a nerve, and then from that point, people are like, we got him. Yeah, let's keep it. Let's see how far we can push the limit. And that's like when I remember LeBron started like years ago saying, when the playoffs come, I shut down Twitter. I get off social media because you go home and you have a bad game, and you're scrolling through, and everybody's like, LeBron sucks, not clutch, and it's like all these people that don't play the game you play, that have never been in your shoes, have never been on a setting like that, are criticizing you. But if they stepped on that court, they probably wouldn't be able to do a quarter of the things that you do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, even the news people, even analysts, like, oh, Michael Jordan would have made that shot. Well, Michael Jordan missed a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant missed a lot of shots. Curry, Durant, LeBron, they're going to miss a lot of game winners. And it's not comparing like one to the other, but it's crazy because like how you're saying, like KD's brother even said something like, yeah, we out of OKC. We out this bitch. Like, and he's probably like, bro, chill, like, but you know what? And that may be because they're like, I'm going to take a stand. I'm not going to let these people dictate what we can or can't fucking say or do. And then they have to deal with the repercussions of that.
Yeah. But I think that you're right. I think as much as I hate how much of a crybaby he is on the court and stuff, but I do think that LeBron handles everything outside of the game like exceptionally well.
Yeah. That's just having a good team around you. I mean, he's probably
you never see him freak out though.
Yeah, he's calm and collected, and he's my favorite player. He's been my favorite player since he came out. When I used to watch, this is what I'm saying is around the time ESPN was that, okay, we're 24/7. They were just big. It's like 2002, 2003. I was just into straight sports, and then they were talking about him coming out of high school, and then they even broadcast a couple of his high school games, and I was like hooked. I was like, oh, this guy. So I've been rocking with him he's in his 16th season. I had the LeBron James ones. Me and my son, I bought them. I even bought them for my brother, dude. And I'm just like, okay, he just, I like the way he played the game. I grew up watching Jordan, Kobe. I'm a lifelong Warrior fan. But I like individual. Like my dad would be like, you can't like Kobe. They're the Lakers. We're the Warriors. And I'm like, I like individual greatness.
Yeah.
I can like him, and I like Jordan. It's just like, it only sucks because when Cleveland went against the Warriors that first year, I was torn. I was like, I want him to do good, but I want the Warriors to win.
Yeah.
And that's what ended up happening. He played great, but the Warriors won. They're just a better team.
We just went to the game the other day, the Heat game, and I'm gonna miss when they leave there, dude.
Oh, I know.
Because tickets are fairly cheap. I mean, they're more expensive now that they're so good, but
they used to be
so
super
convenient.
cheap.
It's right there off BART. Like,
I know.
When it's in the Bay, or when it's in San Francisco, dude, it's gonna be expensive every night, and it's gonna be hard to get to.
I'm wondering if not the atmosphere, but the people that can afford the tickets, like, so your everyday blue collar couple
can go
to the game, or I went to a lot of games, and because when they were really bad, we would still go to the games,
and it was still loud too.
Yeah, they always sold out. We have a great fan base, but it's like I went to a lot of games when they were bad, so we got good seats. You sat and you're just like, oh, but you're not really watching, except the 2008 We Believe team. There's a couple years like in the 90s, the Run TMC team where it's like Hardaway, Mullen, Mitch Richmond. Like, I grew up watching those guys too, but they could just never get to that next step. Exciting to watch,
yeah,
but just never get to that playoffs. You're in the Western Conference Finals. Oh, you won a championship. I think 74 was the last year they won it, before they won it in 2015.
Yeah, we would go when I was a kid, dude. And they were never any good. Didn't even sell out back then either.
I gotta take a piss.
Go for it, dude.
It's weird. Every time I drink Red Bull, I gotta pee like crazy.
It's the caffeine, dude. Get you. Oh my god. Oh, let me mark down when that was. 30 minutes.
That was 30 minutes already?
Yeah. The quality's way better through that app. It's like we're not all like glitchy slow motion and shit.
So you're streaming it through an app?
Yeah, through that. Remember I couldn't get the app going last time?
Yeah.
I got it going this time.
What's it called? Is it Twitch?
Streamlabs?
Oh. What is the one that you sent me the other day? You were like, oh, see if you could see me. And I was talking to you. You were live on the video.
Was it on Twitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just, you can broadcast to Twitch or YouTube to that app.
Okay.
And I was just broadcasting on Twitch, which I don't know which one would be better to broadcast on. Doesn't really matter right now because 5 people watch us or listen to us, you know? My friend actually texted me
5 is better than none.
a couple days ago. A friend I haven't talked to in a while, and he was like, "Hey, dude, I was listening to the podcast and just, checking in to see what's up." I was like, "Oh, damn, someone's listening to it."
The one listener. Hey, wait till we start getting criticized by the one listener.
I think you were talking about this. Maybe not. Who someone was, I think it was you, about like how when the people that actually comment on Twitter is like a super small population.
Oh.
And usually when you're willing to comment, it's usually when you're pissed off and angry. That's why it has like a negative, it seems like it has a negative bias, you know?
There's a lot of, what do they call them? Trolls.
Yeah, but I don't
Twitter
even think that it's
trolls?
necessarily purposely trolling for a reaction. I just think that
No,
you're
no.
more willing to comment on something if it strikes a nerve with you, right? Like if we said something on the podcast and someone's like, "Wait, at 27 minutes you said this, you fucking idiot." Whereas if they just thought it, if they just enjoyed it and whatever, you just listen to it and go on your way. Like you don't go, "Oh, I love what you guys said at this point."
Yeah.
I mean, there are people that will do that, but it's way more rare than.
Yeah, like you're going to get somebody critiquing or criticizing what you say 9 times out of 10 as opposed to somebody commenting like, "Hey, that was a good point."
Yeah.
And that's the thing with talking and putting yourself out there is like we're not like scholars of nature and science and education and finance. We're just 2 random bros talking about things that come up in conversation like that we would be talking about if we weren't being recording ourselves.
Yeah.
But I think putting it out there for people to be like, "Oh, I can relate to that," or maybe not relate to that, you open yourself up for criticism. Like, but like that's where you get into that whole thing of should you read comments? If you had a following and they're like, "Hey, we want you guys to talk about this," that's different.
Uh-huh.
Or when it's like you said, "Hey, at 1 minute and 34 seconds, you were talking about King Cobra and racial profiling." Like, I don't believe, it's like, well, that's my opinion, or I was stating something. It wasn't necessarily, that was actually a fact.
Yeah.
That I actually went through that, and then I was like, in my head, that's what I related it to.
Like if we just glossed over something like that, it might be more important to one person that's listening,
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, you should have got deeper into why like this and this and that."
Yeah.
And
It depends
you
on
can't,
your following.
Like if I don't ask the right question of you to get like into that, we're never even gonna go.
You're
there,
gonna go that Joe Rogan method where he was interviewing the Twitter guy, and everybody's like, "You should have grilled him on the left and the right."
I need to listen to that one. I still haven't listened to it.
He like had I was scrolling through Instagram, and he was like had 100-word explanation of that whole interview, and I'm like, why does he even feel the need to defend himself? And
Rogan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird because
He'll occasionally do that. Like when he interviewed Daniel Cormier after he got knocked out, and he's like, I normally never do that. I don't know why I did. I apologize to Daniel Cormier, and like everybody was kind of mad at me, and I'm like, dude, people make mistakes, bro.
Yeah. Because he's always talking about how he doesn't read the comment section of his stuff.
They all do.
I know, yeah, and you know that they do to some degree.
It's just, can you take it without having to respond back?
Yeah, which has got to be hard, dude. Because when someone like goes like straight after you on something,
yeah,
I could get like the reaction.
Well, see, like the difference is, if somebody critiques something you said, like, oh, you said this or that, or that's, I think that I'm call bullshit on it or whatever. That's different. But when somebody attacks your character, then that's when it really strikes a nerve.
Yeah.
Because either you're striking a nerve because they're calling you out on your shit and they're truthful about it and that's the truth, or you're like, no, like I'm saying with KD responding on his burner accounts, either he thinks those things in his head is why he gets so irritated by it, or he's like, no, this is so wrong that I need to respond, But you do okay. That's the only reason why I think that Kevin Durant is more likely gonna. There's a 50-50. Like most people are like, no, there's no reason
About
for
him
him
leaving?
Yeah, there's no reason for him to leave. He needs to open up that new arena. But all he hears is, oh, you had to go to that team to win.
Ride their
You
coattails.
couldn't beat that team to win. Hey, you know what's funny is LeBron beat that team.
Yeah.
But you know what? You lost to that team. You choked a 3-1 lead to that team, and then you had to go join that team just so they can beat LeBron. And so it's like how, remember when he got in the fight with Draymond earlier in the year?
Yeah.
And Draymond's like, bitch, we won without you, motherfucker. Get your ass out here and lead. Like, that's what I heard was said, right? I don't know what was truly said. I'm just like hyping it up. But, Draymond is emotional. Like, he'll just burst out and say what he feels. And if he says, hey, bro, we fucking won without you. We don't need you. Bounce.
Yeah.
He's got burner accounts. You don't think that hits him? And he's like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm out of here. Like, I'll keep it
Definitely.
cool this year. We'll probably win another ring. I'll keep it cool. But after this, I'm fucking gone.
Yeah. He probably could.
See how
hold a
much they
grudge.
can win without me. And honestly, if he did leave, I don't think they can be unbeatable. Like right now, they're literally unbeatable in my opinion. Since he got there 2 years ago, they've been unbeatable. Nobody's and except Houston in the Western Conference Finals last year, taking them to 7 games, which I think that was
I
more
don't
of
know.
a fluke.
I disagree a little bit. I think he definitely helped them, but their style has also changed since he joined the team. I mean, they go those little transition runs now.
Yeah,
That used to be the entire game.
I know.
It was no one ran transition like that all game. There
I know.
wasn't a play. Like they would not rest for a play,
I know. It's crazy.
and they did. They did go to the finals, and they did win without him.
I know.
So
But-
I don't think that I wouldn't jump to the conclusion that that they would stop winning if he left.
No, I don't think they'd stop winning. I just think that would make it so when I'm like in my head before he got there, it was more exciting when they won. Now
Yeah.
it's like they should win.
Yeah, it's
it's
expected.
boring
You
because
better
you're not.
because-
I mean, it's exciting when they start dropping threes and blowing, like they go on a 20-1 run, and you're like, oh yeah, that reminds you of the original
Yeah.
Curry, Clay, Draymond, Iguodala, like when they were just like lights out, and then KD gets there and it's like the finals were boring.
Yeah.
Like nobody expected the Cavs to win. LeBron took that garbage team, who's literally the second worst team in the NBA right now, and he leaves, and they become literally the second worst team. He dragged that team to the finals,
Yeah,
basically by himself.
that's crazy, dude.
And then then you get to the finals, and they get swept. Or I don't think they won a game last year.
But the other flip side of that is there's no way he was doing that with that team in the West. I don't think.
Oh, with the Cavs?
Yeah,
No, because
Yeah.
look at the Lakers now.
the East was fucking awful. They're still pretty. They're better.
They're better
They're way
now
better.
with
They're
the
way
trades
better.
that they made, and with LeBron leaving. There's more.
Up until about this year, the East has been fucking garbage. Dude.
I know. Well, it hasn't been. Okay, so it's like
yeah, it has, dude. Because what team, like, if you were gonna go the teams that if you ordered them, like, who could win a finals? Like, you're gonna go 6 or 7 deep in the West before you ever mention a team on the East. If you're talking like the year like when it was Warriors Cavs,
well, it's been.
who from the East even would
I honestly think that.
even make playoffs if they
I
were in the
think
West.
that. So when Cavs were down to Indiana last year, I think Indiana had a better shot at the Cavs. Boston took them to Game 7. I mean, they were in Game 7 in Boston.
Yeah, that's true.
And
But
Boston
do you think who's
doesn't miss all those
Boston?
threes? They
Who's
should.
Boston gonna beat on the West?
Boston would have gave the Warriors.
Like you're talking with the
Boston
year with
would've-
Isaiah Thomas or
No. With the first year with Kyrie Irving last year,
Okay,
when Kyrie Irving got hurt and Boston was still winning.
Yeah.
And then they go to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Cavs, and other than LeBron taking over in Game 7, they probably could have won that game, that series.
yeah,
And then that team would have been a better matchup in the finals. They wouldn't have got swept. I think they would have got
you think?
maybe one game, maybe 2, because I just think that Boston, Boston was a poor man's version of Golden State, which I mean, they play good defense, they move the ball, everybody scores, everybody shares, they had good coaching. And the bad thing was LeBron's so good, he beat that team, and then he goes to the Warriors, and it's like, okay, it's LeBron versus 4 All-Stars.
Yeah.
Right? And then
It's crazy.
and then he still puts up an
crazy how good he
epic
is.
game 1, and J.R. Smith fucking gets the rebound and like starts running the opposite direction. and that like
That poor dude.
like LeBron literally he gets that game 1, you build up confidence.
Momentum and everything too.
He was dominating that game, dude, to the point where like that game should have been an all-time great game, and then it ends up like the dude misses the free throw, J.R. Smith gets the rebound and literally runs the wrong way, and then overtime they're so fucking mentally collapsed that they just blow it, and then after that
I still wonder
they
what
were
was going
done.
through his head, dude.
Who's
JR.
he said I really think he thought the game was tied at that point.
How?
He
I've never I don't know anyone that doesn't know what the score is when you're in the game and it's close.
yeah, I know someone. His name is J.R. Smith.
Like
I
that's
mean,
just not. You
there's
always
so
know,
many-
like as a player, like you run through all the scenarios in your head, right? As things are happening, like oh, we could do this, and then like plus, the coach burns it into your fucking head at the timeout. You know, like,
That's
and you know LeBron was reinforcing all that shit. Like LeBron had to have told him
I gotta pull it up.
in all of them,
I
like
can't
you
pull
do
it up.
this
No.
if this happens, right?
Okay, so like maybe he should have, but you're coming down to the last seconds. And George Hill's at the free throw line. He makes he makes the first one, which ties it. He could make the second, which would put them up by 1. Golden State would still have a chance to win it because there was time left. Like if he makes it, they call timeout. They get one last shot. You give Durant 3 seconds, Curry 3 seconds to get the ball and shoot. They got a 45% chance of making that shot,
Yeah,
right? Or getting fouled, and then you go to the free throw line and you make 2 free throws, or you make 1 and you tie it again. Well, the crazy thing is that he misses the free throw. So people are like, people forgot about the missed free throw. People miss free throws.
yeah.
You're not perfect. Getting the ball and running the opposite direction is literally crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the ball. First of all, if I was J.R. Smith and I'm not, so I can't. I mean, I don't want to say like you should have done this because who knows? I've never been put in that moment. But in that moment, you think that he has the awareness to be like, okay, he misses it. We're tied. I get the ball. We have a couple seconds left. Okay, I'll get the ball and I'll kick it out to LeBron. He could, in that whole time, he could have, and you watch the replay, he grabs the ball, he could have passed it out to LeBron, and LeBron could take a desperation last second shot,
Yeah.
and he has a 40% chance of hitting that. And then if not, you go to overtime.
Yeah.
But at least you go to overtime with the mentality of we didn't blow it, right?
Yeah.
And then that's what, he sits down and they show the video of him on the bench. He's like, oh, and they had a timeout. They had
Yeah.
one.
That's the thing too. Like,
That's on the coach.
I don't know.
That's on every single player on that team.
Well,
It's not just J.R.
I would have to
Smith.
go back because it's been a while. I'd have to go look at it. Like, is he out there trying to call timeout, coach? What's going on?
You got to see. You know what? It's in the history books now.
But
It's done.
my whole thing was just like he had the opportunity to give LeBron the ball. Too.
Yeah, he did.
And why?
LeBron's reaction is all time epic too. He's
Yeah.
like, he's like, and then J.R. Smith's like, has that look. He's like, have you ever seen that J.R. Smith meme
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
his eyes are like this, and he's like, and they just clown him, dude. On Twitter, it's always on Twitter, and it'll be like, oh, who'd you were passing the ball to? He's like, oh, I thought that was Kyrie Irving, and it's like, it just everything they just crucified that guy, bro, and I feel bad for him, and he's still stuck in Cleveland. He's not playing for the team.
I know.
He's like waiting for them to like drop him so he can go sign with another team, and I think they feel so bad about that they're like, we're not dropping you. You're just gonna sit here and suck with us. You could be at home working out. And you know what's crazy? I'm excited for is the last half of the season.
Yeah.
Is to see do the Lakers make the playoffs, which I think they do.
They will. I
I
mean,
think as soon as they get Lonzo Ball back and they get that cohesion with those 2 new guys they got from the trade, I think that they make the playoffs. Now, do they win? I think they can beat everybody in a series other than the Warriors. So if they get the 8th seed and play the Warriors in the first round, I think they'll give them a tough time, and I think every game could be close, but I just don't see them winning any. Like I maybe see them winning a game.
Yeah.
They match up really well with the Warriors, though. It's weird, like their length, their athleticism, their youth.
It'll be
They just don't have 3-point shooting.
interesting to see like how the seeds are, because I think that the Rockets could beat the Warriors.
I don't think they could beat them this year.
You don't think so?
I think last year was their shot, and people
I think they
forget
could, dude.
about this. People always say, "Well, Chris Paul, if he doesn't get hurt, Iguodala didn't play, I think, but
Yeah.
2 games in that series. Iguodala is a game changer for the Warriors.
Yeah.
He does all the little things, and he didn't play the first 4 games or 5 games because of that knee. I think he had a bad knee, and I think if he's in there from game 1,
Mhm.
it's a 6 games at the most,
Really?
and the Warriors win. And look at, you know what's crazy? How many threes did Houston miss in Game 7? 23 consecutive
that's
threes
fucking
missed.
bunch, dude.
You make
That was like
you make 4 of those and
Yeah.
they win, and it's like that's all time. You like they say, you live by the 3, you die by the 3.
when we were watching that, it was like it's over.
What?
The Warriors? I was like they're done.
Oh, watching Game 7.
Yeah.
They were up. I think Houston was up by 15.
Yeah, I don't remember what the
And
numbers
then-
were, but it was enough to where like you had discounted it in your head. Like, damn, dude, reality started setting in. You're like,
I thought
I
I was watching it and I
it's
go,
fucking over.
wow, is this really happening right now? And
Even when they start making the comeback, you're like, it's too late. You know,
The
I'm
Warriors-
like,
the Warriors
they're going
are
on a
that-
run and it's cool, but it's too late. And then fuck, they pulled it out, dude.
I don't know.
That would be a fun one to. I wonder if I could watch that on VR.
To
Be a
run
fun
it-
one to go rewatch.
If you run that back, you know, like NBA history is literally altered by 1 or 2 plays. So, and I was talking to some dude about this at work. Now this is the straight basketball podcast now.
Sorry.
Remember the year that OKC was Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and they had the 3-1 lead on the Warriors. And Game 6, they're up. I don't remember how much. I know they were up by 10 at one point. And then all of a sudden, Klay Thompson catches fire. And he's making 3 after 3 after 3. And you're like, unbelievable shots. They're cutting into the score. And then all of a sudden, OKC just goes cold and then the Warriors take over and they win that game.
Mm-hmm.
3-1. OKC's up 3-1. Westbrook and Durant and versus Klay, Draymond, Curry, right? Iguodala. Yeah, I'll put Iguodala in there because at that point he was still like really, really good. And I'm like, then I was thinking it's over. So they win that Game 6. I was watching. I'm like, oh my god, right? And as soon as they win Game 6, I go, it's over. There's no way OKC is going into Oracle in Game 7. They mentally fucked up, and that was their shot. That was their chance. So I was thinking, me and some guy at my work were talking, and I go, you know what? That literally changed the last 4 years in the NBA, the landscape.
Yeah.
Because OKC loses, Warriors go to the finals against the Cavs. Kevin Love was hurt. Kyrie got hurt in the first game, and Warriors win that title. A lot of people say Warriors should have won that title because it was LeBron and a bunch of scrubs, which it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Cavs still had a 2-1 lead.
Yeah.
And then they make that roster change. Iguodala's in the starting lineup, and the rest is history. The what do they call it, the death lineup. And so then Kevin Durant leaves OKC, right? And you're like, okay, he left OKC, so like that team is no longer there no more. Then he goes to the Warriors, and then it's like from that point on, the whole NBA landscape changed, dude. The whole NBA landscape, like you could have, let's just say OKC beats the Warriors.
Yeah.
KD and LeBron go at each other. It's the Cavs and the Thunder, and that's the
Cavs
finals.
win.
Cavs. I'm
You
at
think
that
Cavs
year.
win?
At that year, well, even if Kevin Love was already hurt. He got hurt in the Boston series.
Mhm.
But does Kyrie get hurt?
Yeah.
Kyrie and LeBron, I think would have beat Russ and KD, and then but it could have went the other way. So then you could have had OKC as champions, or if LeBron wins, it's Cavs. But they don't break up the Thunder. They're like, we're one piece away,
Yeah.
right? And then the Warriors are
And
like,
then if the Cavs do win, I think that maybe you don't have LeBron in LA now, because if the Cavs have 2, possibly 3 titles,
then
like
he
in
probably
such a short
retires
span,
in,
like
in
then
Cleveland.
Why, if he's winning there,
Yeah.
his hometown, why would he leave?
Yep.
So that's crazy. I still go back to the Warriors blowing theirs against the Cavs.
Oh, the next year.
Yeah, because
Everybody says it was all because of the Draymond suspension. and that could be true if he didn't get suspended.
I think it is. I mean, it's hard to boil something down to one thing, you know. But I do believe that totally just turned like the whole momentum and everything. It was just like I hate hearing people like the Saints game this year.
Yeah.
Right. And I hate when people use the excuse that, well, you shouldn't lose the game off of like, you should have not set yourself up to lose the game off of one call. And it's like bullshit, dude, because that one call that was blatantly wrong did lose the game. There's not a question.
That
of it.
wasn't like at the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
And they didn't call it, and you didn't get to kick the field goal.
Yeah.
That call is literally, you make that call, they go down, you run the clock, you kick the field goal, you go into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's and everybody's like, well, what about the couple plays before where there was a face mask and this and that? And it's like, okay, that could have affected the game, but you don't know the outcome because there was still time on the clock for things to happen. That one would literally have secured a first down. You run the ball 3 times, you fucking kick it with no time on the clock.
It turned the entire game.
And then, I mean, I would have much rather have seen Drew Brees and Tom Brady in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Than the Rams. And I for sure, you know what's crazy is I thought the Rams, everybody at my job was like, oh, you know, who you got? And I go, I think the Rams on paper are better. I just don't bet against Belichick and Brady.
Yeah.
Like Brady and a bunch of passes, prime Gronk, Josh Gordon bounced on the team. And it's crazy because if he would have just stayed, he'd have a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
He could have been a Super Bowl MVP. Like at that point. But I mean, I get it. The dude was like, I got to get out. If you can't go to New England and rejuvenate your career and fix that shit that's going on, it's got to be pretty deep.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for that kid. I think, but does he still get a ring? He was on this season.
I don't know how the rules work with it. I don't know how much time you have to spend with the team to still get a ring.
I've always wondered when.
I want to say the NFL has a really low like threshold. Like you just have to have been on the team for like a game or two. It's not even very long.
I don't know. But you know what I was thinking too? But a part of me as a competitor, like I'm super competitive. I'd be like, fuck this ring.
I didn't
even get to play in that game.
Like personally, I would probably still like hold on to it in your personal collection of stuff.
Yeah,
just
you
as like
put
a chapter of your life. But I'm not going to be like on TV fucking flashing my Super Bowl ring or something.
He's like doing interviews.
Whack,
you know, we really had a good game plan.
Polishing it up.
I mean, but you put it in the trophy room. And you say, how was a part of that team?
I don't even know if I put it in the trophy room, but like I put it in a little box in the top of my closet to remind me sometimes or something. You know, I'm not gonna if I had like a trophy room or a trophy case, I ain't putting it in there.
Yeah,
because like I said,
I wonder if he comes. I wonder if he comes back to. I think he's done now.
Yeah,
like I think he's gonna retire and focus on himself outside of football, getting whatever his issues that he goes through, and getting better and focus on that. And I don't think he comes back. Speaking of that,
I don't think
Kaepernick comes back.
I don't think there's hardly anyone that would want him back. I don't think Kaepernick has a chance of coming back.
I heard New England's willing to take a chance. Now when somebody reports it and says, "Oh, New England would take a chance," then I think it's highly likely.
I don't know. I just think that the NFL is still like that good old boy system, and I think that.
But he's already won the collusion case.
I know, but that doesn't mean that they're not still going to collude against him to play in the NFL, you know?
They can't. How many backups do you see that Kaepernick's better than right now? A lot. And he couldn't get in the league.
I know.
I think because he had an open case, they were like, we can't have a guy suing the NFL and have him playing in our league.
Yeah.
Now his case is settled. It's like, okay, let's see, maybe somebody does bring him in. Maybe he doesn't even want to play.
Yeah, I mean,
I heard they offered him $20 million to play in that new AAF league or whatever, and he's like, or no, they wanted him to play in it, and he wanted $20 million, and they were like, "What?
We don't have
our
that kind of money.
Our whole team costs $20 million."
Not even, dude. I bet the team doesn't even cost that much. But I just see it hard for him. It's like Tebow, Not even like don't even think about the collusion case or any of that stuff. But do you want that circus around your team? Like, do you want to deal with that circus? Because
there's only one team that can quiet that circus, and that's the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots. You're right.
Because Belichick will be like, we're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Baltimore.
Yeah, and you don't have you have absolutely zero.
And you sit behind Tom Brady.
Yeah,
who
and learn something.
and learn some stuff, and then the Patriots will protect him.
But there's not gonna
Belichick
be-
and Kraft will protect him.
Yeah, in New England, you're not going to have fans chanting Kaepernick, Kaepernick, like put him in, because you've got Brady.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. You don't send him in a volatile situation.
Yeah, whereas pretty much
Everywhere else,
anywhere else, you're going to have people chanting to have him in. The
Yeah.
first interception
yeah.
thrown of the game, they're going to be like, Kaepernick, put Kaepernick in.
Well, you know what? The fan base, a lot of the fan base, like you're saying, in the NFL is like that. It's like that. They follow the lead of what the NFL does, what the owners do. Like they'll be like, "Oh, you don't fucking kneel." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he went through his thing. Yeah. He protested for injustice. So he kneeled during the national anthem, right? Anywhere outside of that, but it's like people had certain ideas. But you should be, paying respects to the fallen soldiers, that this and that. And there was war veterans saying we fought for his right to do that.
Yeah.
And then there was guys saying like, "Oh, you're being disrespectful." Everybody had like the First Amendment, like this whole. Did you see what Donald Trump tweeted about SNL?
I saw him throwing a fit about it. I haven't been on Twitter in like 3 or 4 days.
He's basically upset because they're making fun of him. SNL is a show that's made fun of almost every president I can remember since I've seen it on TV.
Yeah.
Why is he taking it so personal?
Because you
'Cause it's accurate?
Well, it doesn't matter who's making fun of him. He's gonna if he notices it, he's gonna get mad about it. He's like that dude. You always know, like there's always that dude in high school that like he'll clown on everybody, but the second someone clowns on him, he gets fucking pissed.
Can't take it. Can't take the heat.
Yeah. And Trump's the same way. Look, he has like little fucking nicknames for everybody and is always talking shit. But then the first,
I went through that a lot. When people are talking shit to me, and I hit them back with something, and then they're just like all up in their feelings, and I go, "What the fuck?" Now I feel like an asshole because you're all upset because I said something to you that was probably true because you said something to me that, I'm like, it's crazy. Like I used to get people telling me all the time, like, "Man, why are you fucking so skinny, man? You need to eat more." And I'd be like, "Well, why are you fat?"
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "What the fuck, man? It's fucking fucked up, dude." And I'd be like, "Bro, you don't think skinny people feel like
you're just clowning on me for like
I'm like
not being big enough."
Yeah. And I go, "Dude, I'm comfortable in my skin. Fuck." Like
you do have to be careful with it though, because obviously like we're close enough we could bullshit with each other. When we had that he's still like a friend or like an acquaintance over the other night, and he's like real close to my boy East like family, and he was over here and we were taking the shots of tequila, right? And I just made like a little it's off now. I made like a little comment because he was asking for a chaser, right? And then so like my boy's brother sitting there and I was like, you want a chaser too? And he's like, "No." I was like, "Oh, you have a dick?"
that's fucked up.
I know. Whereas like it just slipped out, and the second I said it, I was like, "Fuck, dude! Like I don't know this guy well enough to like
get on him like that."
Be making like a joke like that. So then I like immediately just stopped. And I was like, "I hope
that's fucked up, bro."
He just kind of laughed it off. I don't think he was offended or anything. Like I think he took it fine.
Yeah. Then inside,
but I don't know him. Like I don't know him well enough to
Well, so like
I shouldn't have done that, but sorry, Casey.
Everybody likes to fucking razz on each other, like talk shit, and it can get. I've been in groups with my family. We're talking shit about each other, and then somebody says something, and it's kind of like everybody is quiet, and it's like, "Oh fuck," like did I cross the line? And it just depends. Like I've been told shit, and I'm like, I literally don't get upset when people talk shit to me. My cousins would talk a gang of shit to me. And I was the outlier. I was the skinny, shorter, wear glasses. They're all bigger, fucking, monsters. Like just they were like more alike than I was. I was kind of like I didn't really fit with their group, And they kind of grew up all together. I lived out here. I didn't really spend as much time with them. And they'd be like, "Oh, why are you wearing that?" Like what's up with those sort of shorts or whatever. And I kind of like I had my own little style,
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Well, I don't make fun of your outfits. Like, why is it a big deal to you?" At the end of the day, it's like, I never really get it. Like, why people want to usually when they say people talk shit is when they're they're the most insecure people. Some people just like to talk shit just to have fun. Some people only know certain ways. When you're constantly doing it to somebody though, or in front of other people, like, what's crazy is when somebody like talks shit to you in a group setting, but like one-on-one, you guys are hella cool.
Yeah.
And they don't talk shit to you, and it's like, well, why do you do it when other people are around? And I was never like that because I don't want people to feel bad. But if I was getting shit talked about me, I'd talk shit back, and it's kind of like, you want to attack me, so I'll attack you back. So a lot of times I do it in fun. I'm like, I don't take nothing out of this, but then sometimes you see people getting their feelings. I'm just kind of like, whatever, know.
What I always try to do in that situation too, I don't know if I did it that night because I was too fucked up to remember, but then I try to clown on myself a little bit too. It's like, look, I'm not picking on you, Yeah,
you gotta have a little humility.
Just fucking giving you like the needle a little bit,
Yeah, I clown on myself all the time.
Yeah,
it's because I don't take shit that serious, and that's the thing is. That's one thing that drove my lady crazy sometimes is that I don't take everything so serious. And sometimes I try to make jokes out of some stuff that is serious. And she'll be like, no, this is a serious thing. I'm like, oh, okay. But
my bad.
I appreciate life to the point where nothing is so crazy that I feel like doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Like when you enjoy life, when you literally enjoy life every day, bro, like waking up every day, when like I was talking to some guy at the gym and I was telling him some drama that I was going through like recently, and he was like, he's an older guy, I always see him there, and he's like in his 60s, and he goes, you know what, you had every right to stand up for yourself, and if you believe everything you said was true and you said it out of the bottom of your heart, then that's fine, you live with the results. And he goes, if those people are affected by it, then that's their problem. And he goes, my family disowned me, this and that. And he goes, I'm 60. He's like, I'm at that point in my life where I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I go, what? He's like, yeah, you're in your 30s. He goes, you by the time you get to my age, you might not even remember this what you went through and how you
That's
felt.
True, dude. That's
and he goes, when you start seeing people die around you, people that you grew up with, family members, and he goes, and you're like kind of like one of the ones left standing, and you no longer have those people that you were so close to. He goes, you start to be like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I say what I want. I do what I want. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be happy for my remaining years that I'm here.
Yeah.
And I go, I want to feel like that right now. And he goes, then do it. And he's like, if people get offended by things that you say or do, he's like, that's not your fault. He goes, as long as you're happy in the life that you're living. And he's all, you don't have to have no regrets.
Yeah, dude. Obviously it took like life experience for him to learn that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to like figure that out really early on.
Yeah.
I
have. I mean, I'm at that point where I'm like, you're comfortable in your own skin. You're comfortable enough to say how you feel, to do what you want to do, and to not be like, like, if you don't want to if you don't want to hang out with your boys, you don't want to hang out with your boys.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be like, no, I'm gonna chill with my lady, and they want to talk shit or something, it's like, what do you care? Go do your thing.
Yeah.
And if you want to hang out with your boys and your lady does, and you don't want to hang out with your lady that day, and then you do what you do, and you don't feel bad about it either way.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have, I guess you shouldn't have boys that are gonna make you feel bad about doing that.
Yeah, but it all depends on how they were raised.
Well, and I guess there's more to it too, because you have
there's those guys,
those complex situations, because you do have I'm trying to think of them now, but you have like your boys that aren't in a serious relationship that they're still your boy, so I could see how they'd be like, well, fuck, dude, come do, because they want to hang out with their boy and they don't have their girl or something. I don't even know what I'm fucking saying, but they're. I guess I know what you're saying. It's more complex than just being black and white. Oh, they should all support this. So I said that, and then I kind of was trying to backtrack on it a little bit.
No, I think you got it.
I just couldn't think of a specific enough example.
Yeah, I can tell you one is that when you got a bunch of boys and they're kind of on that whole, oh, you're gonna go cupcake with your lady kind of deal, and it's like, yeah, what do you care? Oh, bro, I don't let my lady control me. I'm fucking macho man or whatever, I'm not like that, at the end of the day, like if you're with your lady and you're in a serious relationship, I've been with my lady long enough to like we're set, we're good, we are in it for the long run because we get along, we're best friends. I'm not gonna let a boy or a family member, my boy or a family member, be like, "Oh, bro, you fucking whooped" or whatever. I'm like, well, you know what? This is a lady that I'm gonna hopefully be buried next to one day. So sorry if you don't like it. I'm not gonna be buried next to you, bro.
Yeah.
Like I love you, but shit, you know, I'm not getting. This is my. Like you got to have that one person you enjoy your life with.
Yeah.
Like you can enjoy your life with your homies, but at the end of the day, are they gonna see you at your worst and be there for you all the time? Are they gonna support you 100% in every decision you make? Maybe, but at the end of the day, if you're in a relationship, that one person is gonna always be there, hopefully, to support you in it. And then there's those bad relationships that make people salty either way. A girl can get out of a bad relationship with a dude, and a dude can get out of a bad relationship with a girl and have that burn, and then it affects him how he reacts with other people. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, your lady's a bitch, bro. She fucking
See, but I haven't
she don't even let you drink at the bars with us.
I haven't had like a relationship with a friend like that since like being really young, like high school and right after high school. I feel like most of my friends, if I had friends that were like that, they've kind of matured past that.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of weird to me, someone our age still being like, "Hey, you can't do this," but yeah, it'd be weird to me to have someone like that now. You know, I would think like what's going on in your head that's the way you think. You know. But because then I guess the flip side of it is, what about because there's girls out there that are like that still. What if your lady really is like that controlling that you can't go do anything ever, you know?
Yeah, but you should have. So like that's what I'm saying. It's like they don't know your relationship.
Yeah.
So my relationship, I'm gonna spend majority of my time with my girl. We get along great. We like the same things. She supports me. I support her. That's a good relationship.
Yeah.
There are those toxic relationships where like the dude and the chick are constantly fighting. They really don't know why they're together, but they're still together either because they got kids or they're in that comfort thing where they're like, well, I don't want to break up. It's too much work.
Yeah.
I don't want to move all my stuff, so I'll just deal with it. And I've seen people in those relationships. And I've had people tell me about those relationships, like venting, like guys be like, dude, my fucking lady this. And I'll be like, you know, I'll try to give my best advice. I'll be like, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship, but I'm not going to say anything because I'm not going to be the one to tell you to break up with her or tell her to break up with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put that on there. I'm just like, I'll be here as a sounding board when you need to talk. And
That's funny because I was just watching an Entourage episode where E is like breaks up with the girl.
yeah.
And then like, are you guys really broken up this time? Because like, I want to talk shit about her and I want to talk shit about her. And then you
Then
get back together with her.
He was notorious for that in the show.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. Yeah, but it's true. Like, you know, like when he broke up with what's her name, Sloane, all the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you guys really broken up this time? And that's life, you know. I guess.
But they were supportive of it, right? Like,
But if I had a boy, like I've had plenty of dudes that I know that were in bad relationships. I never put my 2 cents in it to make them feel like, hey, you need to get out of that, or B, you know, oh, dude, your lady don't let you do shit. It's kind of like I played it how they felt. If this dude was in a controlling relationship and he didn't mind it, why would it bother me? If he's like, no, dude, I'm gonna go here with my lady because she really wants me to be there. I'm like, oh, she wants you to be there for that? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah.
I don't make you feel bad for it.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're like, hey, dude, my lady wants me to go do this, and I'm like, and then there's those guys who be like, man, that's fucking bitch shit, bro. Why are you doing that? Come over here and chill with us. And then you're gonna be like, yeah, maybe that is bitch shit. And then you're gonna get in an argument with your lady because be like, I don't want to do no bitch shit. And she's gonna be like, what are you talking about? You don't support me.
Well, yeah, but
Men and women are wired differently already to begin with.
But then there's the difference too between like you telling your boy that he's gonna go do bitch shit and be joking about it, and you saying it and being serious about it, right? Because I know like I can totally see like a situation, dude, where like if one of my friends is like, yeah, dude, we're gonna go like pick out fucking curtains for the front room or something, right? And I'd be like, your lady can't just do that for you, you know? But I know like the reality is that I would probably be going with my lady to do it too, you know?
Yeah.
And you might say it jokingly just to have a laugh about it, you know, but you don't really actually mean that.
I mean, look,
But you have to know your relationship with that person. Like, are they going to realize I'm just joking or are they not, you know?
yeah, my fucking leg fell asleep.
I know, dude. I don't like this couch. I'm thinking about chairs because we could be facing like,
Yeah,
I think if we were facing each other from these two walls, it'd be fine too.
that'd be dope. Yeah, but relationships are tricky, man. You know, that's you're trying to get two people together and coexist in a world that's full of chaos.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, can you find that? Can you find that peace and happiness with like a soulmate, they say, and be like, you know, we're in it for the long run, or you just be like those dudes that, you know, they'd be like, life is like Foot Locker. Relationships is like Foot Locker. You got to try on a lot of different shoes to find the perfect fit.
It just, you know, it's just not there. There's no one answer to it, dude. I think the biggest thing is just being honest about like what you want.
I've always been honest in my relationship 100%, sometimes to a fault.
Because otherwise, like if the other person doesn't know what you want, how can they give you what you want if they don't even know?
Yeah.
You know?
Girls will, I mean,
Like
not all girls.
Yeah.
Most girls will tell you exactly what they want, what they feel, what bothers them. Most girls.
Yeah.
That I've dealt with.
Uh-huh.
They kind of wear their heart on their sleeves. And guys are more of a like a onion. You got to peel back layers to get to that spot.
Yeah.
And like I'm definitely like I say what I want. I'm honest. But then there's times where my ladies would like, she'd be like, well, there's something bothering you. And then she's got to peel the layers back for me to get to it. And then I'll be like, damn, I didn't even realize that was bothering me. And not even just like in a relationship, but in life, like with other relationships, with things that are going on. And I'm like, I appreciate that about her. That she doesn't just look at me and be like, something's bothering you. But you know what? The Kardashians are on. So whatever.
Yeah. But I think that there's like social norms that, you know, guys aren't supposed to do that. Right? Like you're supposed to just put your head down, work hard, and figure it out, right?
Well, I think all guys, you know, most guys want to be like, oh, I'm tough. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna like tell you how I feel, what's bothering me.
You brought this up, and you might even disagree with this. And you were talking about like how you always vent like stuff to your lady, because then you feel like when you're having an interaction with someone else, like they get the best of you after that, right?
Yeah.
Well, we got on that Saturday night, we got like deep in here, dude. And after it, like at the very like we were here till like 5 a.m, dude.
What?
Just in and out, people were coming in and out and stuff, and it would be like different people in here, and then it ended up just being me and my boy's brother at the end of the night, and he was like, "Yeah, dude," he's like, "You're right, like." That was therapeutic. It felt therapeutic to just like sit here and like have a deep ass conversation,
event session.
And I think it is. I think it is like beneficial to do that, and I think it's healthy to do that. Not to bitch. Like it wasn't in here like a bitch fest or event fest. It was just like, let's just like talk about shit that we don't like. You normally wouldn't talk about. And
you know why? Because
it was interesting, dude. It was interesting and like relieving and kind of cool.
That's the word, relieving. Because if you hold that stuff in, you're going to end up taking that frustration out on people that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And that's like the people when you're in the grocery store and you just got in an argument or you feel a certain way about something that happened and they're like, hey, how you doing today? And you're just kind of like, you know, I've seen people do that. And so I always try to be optimistic where I'm like, they didn't do anything to me. Even if I'm going through something bad, I'll be like, hey, how you doing today? You know, have a good day. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye. And I think that's right. That's only fair because they don't know what you're going through, but they might be having a great day. And the minute they react with you and you are a dick or a bitch to them, then you just triggered them.
Yeah.
And then they go home and their husband's like, hey, babe, how's work? He's like, fuck you. I'm fucking tired of your shit. Pick up your clothes. And he's like, oh, I just made pork chops and macaroni if you want some. And and then you got to work through that. And it's the what do they call it? Like it's like a butterfly effect. Like this affects that, that. And it's like when you get all of that out, you are your best. When you can vent frustrations and give it to people that can like I said, be a soundboard that'll be like, hey, I'll take everything that you're saying and your frustrations and your venting, and it ain't gonna affect me because I'm like helping you.
Yeah.
And then you go through that, it's like we were talking about it the other podcast at your boy's shop, and it's like you're like, yeah, by the time my friend's dad got home from the Bay Area, he was a fucking asshole. And I'm like, yeah, because he was tired, he was burnt out. Like, you don't know what he had went through that morning to get home and be like, why is your dad always a dick? Like, why is he always in a bad mood? Oh, he commutes and he works in the, it's like it's crazy.
That is crazy, dude. You ready to wrap it up? I gotta get some yard work done.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I'm good.
Hour and a half almost.
Yeah, solid.
All right, man.
All right, bro. Oh, shit. We'll talk about it on the next one. But I found this lady I work with was telling me that you can buy land in the Philippines.